What I'd like to talk about is what's here and how much more I can see what's here from just accepting the now, accepting myself, accepting you, accepting my past, you know? Right here, right now, there's so much more here. This place right here is where all your ideas come from. You know, can you connect to that place where all the ideas are for a second? Can you just feel right here where the ideas are, where the feelings are, where the unknown is? This is a hard thing for the ego to do, but can you connect to an unknown? You can't connect to an unknown from unknown, meaning like when you're trying, you're in your ego and there's like this point trying to find something. It can only find something at that frequency. So the longer you listen, the more you're not connecting with some kind of find it energy. Instead, you're just feeling, like almost feel and think with your body, like just allow yourself to receive this nowness that is not something that you can define. There's no way you could talk about it with words. Right? Like, so happy to see you both too. Can you just feel this unknown? Like there's a place where we try to find it with our ego. Don't find anything anymore. You know, you find your keys in your wallet when you lose them, but don't try to find why this is wrong, and don't try to find what do I do about, and don't. My offer to you is just feel with your whole body the space that's here, that's much more of an unknown, that's much more of a non-definable thing, and maybe just open up to a space that things can maybe come to you. Like just open up. Because there's always communication happening with Source. And sometimes our finding is in the way of what's trying to be communicated right here. Like just allow yourself to just, no matter how you're sitting or... And can you, like Robin just said, she repeated that sentence, open up and let things come to you. Can you open up and let things come to you and not find what's coming? Because that's like finding again. Like, did it work? Let nothing come to you, but a tangible, actual nothing. Right? Like let yourself open to nothing. And the only thing that makes it nothing is you can't see it with your five senses. There's always something here. So it's just, is my heart in some kind of search and closed off because it's in a fight or flight search? Or is it open? Is it here? Like, can you see that nothing is real? That the nothing is a real thing. You just can't measure it with your five small senses. There's so many other things that you have. There's so many other senses you have we don't know about. Intuition, right? Kathy G says, my therapist says this too. That is so hard for me to get. I want to offer you to not get it. The party that wants to get it is in a smaller frequency than what it is, right? Like, there's different frequencies. Like an X-ray is a seeing, right? But it's not a seeing that you can do from the smaller frequency, right? So imagine there's frequencies and you're trying to look through. I don't want you to look through this low frequency. Like, just feel what's here. And know that as you feel it, it'll change. Like, Allow yourself to just feel what's here. And what calls to me is the idea of a potential back and forth guided, I don't want to say meditation because it's a loaded word, but a guided feeling. And this is how I meditate. Like, I just want to offer you to just feel for a second. And Danielle, I'll answer that right now. I want you to just feel right now. And don't need to have anything specific. Don't need anything tangible. Don't need any evidence that this is working for a minute or an idea right now. Like, notice how quickly you want that, by the way. Like, it's not worth doing if within the first 20 seconds I don't have $1 million idea or some crazy breakthrough. No, things are worth doing even if you can't measure any of the results. And imagine if you didn't need to see what you'll get before you did something and you just instead felt right now without knowing why you're feeling. Just like, be interested in this. This matters too. Paula says, how do you stop yourself from distracting and meditating, even if you know you are feeling what you need to feel? By not judging what you decided is distracting. Let your mind go wherever it wants and feel whatever you feel. Let your mind... Sometimes I'll hear people meditate and they go, and then I notice my mind went off on a tangent. And then I bring it back to my breathing. I'm like, why? It wanted to go over there. Why are you bringing it back? Why are you controlling it? Why is it this better than wherever your mind went? Do you think your mind has left or something? Do you think that you're here? Or you think that you're focused here? Right? Right? Can you just right now let your mind, that's just an inner child running around, let your mind go wherever it wants. I just want the only thing you think to be let. And then whatever other thoughts come up are just old patterns running their course, right? You right now are just tangibly both letting them run around or be scared or feel sensations of fear or trauma in your body. There's a lot of talk about trauma lately. I think my favorite trauma warm drink is the Gabor Mate. I don't know if anyone's had it, but allow yourself to be right here. Allow yourself to just feel what's here. Allow yourself to just see what's here. Allow your mind to think whatever it needs to think. Whether your eyes are open or not, can you just allow yourself to kind of be? And if you notice thoughts coming up or panic, just let it be. Let it be. If you notice unseenness, if you notice a massive amount of pain in your chest or your stomach, can you just let it be there and understand that things change? Understand that you present with it is the most amazing gift for it. Like, you're here with me even when I'm hurting. Isn't that what you want from other people? What you want from other people, don't you want just be with me even when I'm hurting? Could it be okay if I'm crying in front of you? Could it be okay if I'm full of anxiety? Well, this is your chance to bring that to your inner child. Right? Bring that to your child in your body. What if I keep having pain in my stomach? Yeah, be present with it. It's like, hey, when I have pain, you always run from me. Like, be right there with it. Just allow yourself to just listen right now to what's here. This is so much more important than figuring out money. I promise these things take care of themselves. This is the number one priority. Remember, no matter how much in a world of government tyranny or control, or living with a control-based narcissist, or being totally stuck or in prison, there's one thing no one can take from you, and that's your connection to Source. And no one can take your choice to really actively connect to that Source. And that actually happens to be the highest asset you have. No one can take your connection to Source. Even when they put you in lockdown, even if they put you in prison, even if they're torturing you, even if they're putting you down or judging you, you can't take my connection to Source, and you can't take my choice to connect to Source. Even if you kill me, I just go right to Source. Rewire yourself to this being your first choice. This right here is my first choice. Now I want to offer you, as you're in this, feel free to close your eyes. And I want you to feel the intimacy of this nothing. This nothingness, just your here-ness with it, is actually intimacy. It might be scary for a part of you that's scared of intimacy, just to feel something going beyond your heart, something that's, or your story actually. It's not going beyond your heart, it's going beyond your story and your protection and your false identity. Just let yourself right here merge with it. And even if you perceive that you're not good at this yet, that's fine. Look at that voice that says, I have to be perfect at something before I do it. Or let it be only 10% successful right now, whatever. Just here and find the tangibleness of the nothing. Find the conversation in the silence. And don't just look for tangible words, like find the tangibility in the silence. There's actually something interesting here. And make this more interesting than a future goal. Make this more interesting than a figuring out. This here is interesting. Silence, God, universe, you are interesting to me. I'm interested in what you have to say, even if I can't decipher it in just words. Let yourself feel connection versus think connection. Something is beating your heart 24 hours a day. What is that? What is that? And that's not something you can find with your mind. That's something that will be introduced to you the more you're available. And you become available by just paying attention to now. The less evidence you need that you'll get something out of something, the more you'll get. Surrender the evidence that this is working. Surrender the evidence that you're going to get something out of this. Surrender the idea that it's only measurable based on what you make, or if you get the right relationship, or You want to show gratitude to the universe? Connect to it. The universe is here for you, or God, or whatever you want to call it, 24 hours a day. And maybe once a week we listen to it for 10 minutes when we're really stressed. How about we just start the process of listening to it always? And letting life and figuring out take second to that. And let's see what life does now that you get the mirror of you listening to God versus listening to your problems. What's the mirror of listening to the silence all day? You think you can't still hear it when you're at lunch with a friend? You think you can't feel the silence when you're at work? Feel it right now. I'm going to give you a few minutes and then come back with some more. I'm right here meditating with you. Let's just hear the tangibility in this for a few minutes. Stay in it. I'm just going to talk a little bit, and we're going to be in and out of me talking while I want to offer you for this whole call to just kind of stay in meditation. And I want to offer you to notice that whatever issues are in your life are not able to stay in your mind the longer you meditate. Like, just let any issues in your life for a second just slip out. Just trust it'll be resolved beyond what you can see for a minute. You can still deal with it how you are going to, but for right now I want to offer you to not hold any issues. Just let them go. Let anything that you were stressed about or have to deal with, just let it slide off at the pace that it wants to. The longer you meditate, the longer you listen to the silence, the more to be able to keep meditating, the more it has to purge its interest in those things. Just let them be there, the issues, but don't grab them. Don't fix them. Don't run from them, and don't come up with a solution to legitimize that they're a problem. They're not a problem. Just feel this moment and have the courage to just stay with this moment, and then just go, I'm just going one more second. Good. And then I'm going one more second. You move like that, you can go forever. It's just here and now here. If I say there's a long time left, that's harder to just be here. But if I just say just this next second. Now this one. Notice everything slipping out a little bit. And then what are you left with? Have another few minutes of just noticing that. Notice things have changed even without any effort. Whatever you can find is trying to slip out. Just let it be there, or let it slip out. Don't figure it out. Don't make sense out of it. Don't grab it. Don't control it. Just sensations, thoughts, just hi. Thank you. I hear you. Receive right now. Listen right now. keep your eyes closed, and I want to offer you, as you experience this space and you see with your eyes closed, can you find a difference between the inside and outside of you? And are you sure? Like, notice from here, all the thoughts you're having are inside of you, right? So there's no outside. Or it's all outside and there's no inside, but there's no line that separates you from this. You're creating that line, that it's separation, and you're used to living on one side of that line and being a smaller thing. Like, notice there's actually no line. There's no, where does one person end and another begin? Is it just at the skin? No. You can feel that person with your eyes closed. How could you? How could you? How could you feel that energy? How could you see them in your mind right now? These are just thoughts then. Only your thoughts, not the people, your thoughts of the people. But the more you do this, and you go, yeah, but what about the people outside of that? And I'm like, those are thoughts too. You already know who I'm talking about, so you're thinking about this other group of people that are a new set of thoughts outside of these thoughts that you think are the other people. There are no other people. There's no other people. Just open up. Stay in this. Let's go a little more. Take another minute. Know that whatever is feeling stuck or off or whatever is changing in itself. Like, just see it. Have the courage to be there no matter what you're feeling. Just be there. Just no taking on, no fixing. Just be there. And notice what you would have to connect to be there for it. You actually experience more of the all that isness to be there for it, right? Like, there is no you. But the patterns that have lived as you are so scared of that. So you are merging with the truth of this all that isness. And your protectors are going, wait, we might feel trauma. We might get hurt again if we're just all that is. And then you're just like, no, you're not going to get hurt the same way. You won't be abandoned. You won't be lonely. You won't be yelled at. You won't be hit. You won't be anything like you. You are just this action that's protecting from those feelings. But what you actually are is all of this. So I know you're scared to get hurt from your dad again or whatever. But this is your dad. This is your mom. This space. You're a child of this. You came from your parents. You're a child of this. This is your parents. Reunite with your home. Reunite with this. This is your home. You're connected to this before you had memory, so it might feel unfamiliar, but it's familiar. This right here, this is both sides of the veil. You can feel this after you pass. This is the same. This holds space for that survival mechanism. This holds space. That survival mechanism isn't you. It's just energy scared to release itself. And the more you do this work, the faster it can. Oh man, and what life can do for you. What life can do for you, and answer for you, and heal for you, and magic for you. It'll take care of everything. Your challenges in life are just a mirror of how frequently you connect to the now. If you connect very little, you see only a ton of problems. You connect like this, the universe will take care of the problems, man. The universe will take care of it. You have no idea. You have no idea how big it is. Sit comfortably. Sit however you feel held. Let your chair or your bed or the space hold you. Like you're falling, like a kid falling back into mom's arms. Just like fall into it for a second. Let it hold you. Relax for once. Relax for once. Like, don't make relax such a bad thing. Be held. Be held. Don't make that so unfamiliar. Just be held by this now. Feel a little thank you just with your breathing, just receiving thank you, giving it. And when you feel comfortable, feel free to open your eyes. I want to welcome you back. I'll tell you, I was meditating a lot last week and going on a lot of God walks. I go on these walks and talk to God. And on the 7th, I took a friend to lunch. And the price was whatever, 50 something. And then I hit that 20% button on their machine. And it came out to be $77.70. And that was the price at lunch on the 7th. And then that night I went to dinner with another friend, paid the bill, and it was $77.70 again. The next morning I walked to a smoothie place, talked to God all the way there, had a revelation, decided what I was going to order because of the revelation. The price was $7.70. I swear to God. And I just feel so held. I just feel so here, but that's because I'm allowing it. I'm finding it. I'm receiving it. I'm listening to it. I'm listening to an energy that's here, and you will feel held. And there's always passing things that could seem like problems, but if you're on a frequency of the now, you don't see them as problems. You see them as unfoldings. You see them as something the universe is dealing with. You see them as possibility, right? Feel free to share anything. Feel free to share what this space says. That's all it is. If you're listening to the now 8 hours a day, if you are listening to the now, you know this is the only truth. So everything else is just like something going by on a conveyor belt. But if you're on a lower frequency, it's you. That thing is an issue to get in. Wow. You know, it's so beautiful we're sharing stuff, and I want to hear it. And I also want to offer the power of our listening. So wait till we're sharing something after listening for an hour. This is actually something to say. You know, we're all screaming for freedom of speech, and we're just a bunch of egos screaming at each other. How about freedom to hear? Freedom to listen. And then when we say something, it's a new world coming through. It's an invention. It's an idea. It's a higher frequency. This is why we're here. Like, no, they can take your freedom of speech, which might be a good thing for a minute, so you don't have to just keep screaming out mediocrity and judgment of the other political side, and instead, freedom to hear. There's really good information up here. We're birthing a new world together. How about freedom to hear? And then when you hear something you've never heard before that's new, then you share it. How about we share God, not keep sharing ego? I got something to tell you because I just discovered it. I have new to tell you. I have a new world to tell you. I have a new level telling you. It's not just like this happened. That basketball team beat that basketball team. Or I went to work and Amber was there and there was no ink in the pen. And that's just what happened. Tell me what's happening. That's my thing I'm still working on, finding the love in that. I was at a restaurant recently, and I heard two guys talking, and one guy goes, I can only go to Vegas from Friday to Monday. And the other guy goes, yep, I can't go more than 4 days. And I was just like, I can't do that. Like, I don't know how to join a conversation like that. I feel bad. I feel a little alone in that. I just wish I could be fascinated by that. Really? And I can. God's taking care of it, and I'll just be in the presence and be fascinated by that. But there's a part of me that, you know, it's just like, I am so excited to know you can't go to Vegas more than 4 days. I can do so much with that. Ah, wow. Yeah, that's the way I can be with it, Glenn. I know that I am Vegas. But the more I'm here, the more I just see the beauty in watching that conversation and just hearing it and being present. Maybe if a person says that to me, I go, oh, 4 days for you. I love you. Boy, that'd be a weird turn for him. Guy at a restaurant. I can only go to Vegas for Friday to Sunday. I love you. The hell? I mean, I could go Thursday too. No, that's not what I'm doing, sir. I'm just, yeah, me neither. I mean, did you want to go to, we could go a whole week. No, I'm not hitting on you. Me too. Yuck. I'm not saying yuck. Me neither. 4 days, that's all I can do. Check. 7770. You're me. Yeah, was that a Michael Keaton impression? Hey, how you doing? All right, sandworms. You hate them, right? All right. Everyone take a deep breath in and release it. And know that you're going to have a more magical day because of this meditation. And even if your day sucks, I promise you it would have sucked more had you not. And you upped your frequency, and I want you to just be open to surprises. I want you to be open to surprises that you aren't anticipating. I want you to be open to not needing to know what the surprises are or having a lock on only one specific result is where you're happy. Allow yourself to live, as Michael Beckwith once said, like you are aware there's a surprise party going on, and you're just going, is it around here? Is it around here? Like everywhere you go. Is it this person at the check stand? Is it this food? Is it this? And you just live open. And it's not just in the physical realm. Is it in an idea? Is it in being held? Is it in I'm loved no matter what?